Jaw-dropping news. Just absolute jaw-dropping news right now out of the Donald Trump appointment department. Donald Trump posts on Truth Social. It is my great honor to announce that Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida is hereby nominated to be the Attorney General of the United States. What? I can't even believe this.
What?
Matt is a deeply gifted and tenacious attorney trained at the William and Mary College of Law, who has distinguished himself in Congress through his focus on achieving desperately needed reform at the Department of Justice. Few issues in America are more important than ending the partisan weaponization of our justice system. Matt will end weaponized government, protect our borders, dismantle criminal organizations, and restore Americans' badly shattered faith and confidence in the Justice Department. On the House Judiciary Committee, which performs oversight of DOJ, Matt played a key role in defeating the Russia hoax and exposing alarming and systemic government corruption and weaponization. He is a champion for the Constitution and the rule of law. That is the third Republican congressman to be selected. There is a projected 3-seat majority in the House.
What?
A couple things, couple initial thoughts here. When Matt Gaetz goes to be confirmed, this is the first one where I've thought, I don't know. He's the only one I've thought so far would potentially have any trouble whatsoever being confirmed by a Republican Senate.
He will be the ire of every single Democrat in this country.
He's going to take the full, like, you know how in a movie when something really impactful happens and the bass goes in when you're in a Dolby surround, it goes boo, and it comes like right up in your face. We're going to call that Matt Gaetz from now on.
If you thought that the Democrats were going to, have a united front, not that it'll matter with the minority, but if they were going to really come out hard against somebody like Pete Hegseth, that is in the past. They are now going to focus their efforts on Matt Gaetz.
Like, here's a perspective. Josh on YouTube said getting Matt Gaetz out of Congress is a very, very wise decision. Did Kevin McCarthy just poop his pants?
Yes. That
Oops,
did
I crapped
happen.
my pants.
Oops, I crapped my pants. And I used to be Speaker of the House. That is the name of his next book. This is a shock.
I have something to say about everything, but I need a minute.
Hey,
What?
this is one thing you can be sure of. He will not toe the Washington line in this position. I mean, you want somebody that's going to think outside the box.
Do you remember we'd have Mike Davis on the show? Super fiery lawyer. And he always said he wanted to be the acting attorney general. And he couldn't be the attorney general because he could never get appointed. And then he called it his reign of terror. I think Matt Gaetz could maybe trump him.
Wow. I didn't even know he and Trump were on.
Do we have a record scratch drop in there? Because anytime you want to play it, it would still be applicable.
I heard today was going to be quite a day. Still, he was not even in the conversation.
Matt Gaetz has been on the Annie Frey show.
He has. I remember that.
I don't remember. What were you guys talking about while I was booking Matt Gaetz in the segment leading up to the segment he was going to be on?
I do remember that.
And I was getting text messages, hey, do you guys want to have Matt Gaetz on the show? I'm like, heck yeah, I want to have Matt Gaetz on the show. One would work for you. They're like, you think 5-10 minutes? I was like, what? You guys were talking about pooping or something.
That's probable. I don't remember specifically.
I remember.
Brad, do you?
I remember trying to book it, and I needed you guys to carry the conversation while I made sure I got all my ducks in a row over here.
I do remember that.
And I remember peeking into listening to what you guys were saying. I'm like, he's going to tune in and change his mind.
Were we talking about something like that cruise that got stranded at sea and it just got full of poop, and we were calling it the poop cruise?
I don't know.
See, that sounds familiar.
Something that we've talked about.
I do remember that if Matt Gaetz...
You were Attorney General?
You were about to book him for that moment, right? It wasn't just, I want to book him down the road.
I got contacted from his people and asked if we wanted to have Matt Gaetz on the show. And I'm like, of course I want to have Matt Gaetz on the show. And it was during the Illinois governor primary because he was in town for
Yes.
Darren Bailey. No, it was during the primary for Darren Bailey's attempt at running for Congress against Mike Bost.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got the text message like, do you want to have him on? And I was just assuming that they were thinking like this week. And they were like, now.
Now. Right now.
And you guys were talking
We're like,
about
Poop
something
Cruise.
super stupid. We got to go back and find out what that was. Because it was.
Yeah, we got to play the interview back at this point.
I don't think that's going to happen.
This
Matt
is incredible.
Gaetz.
Incredible.
There are not many things that catch me completely off guard. The Pete Hegseth thing stopped me in my tracks. This is that times 50.
We were just at the beginning of this segment. We were talking. People were calling in, of course. You just heard. I look over at Annie, and she
You can see it
is
on the
looking
YouTube.
at the TV behind me and went, "What?" Not audibly, but as much as she could without saying it. And I had to turn around, and I had the same reaction.
Yeah, we're looking at different TVs across each other.
Everybody listening right now, if you're hearing this too, Matt Gaetz has been nominated to be the Attorney General of the United States. If your mouth just dropped, you are in good company. We all are shocked.
What is this going to look like?
What a couple of years this is going to be.
All of the nominees have to be confirmed with the cabinet. They
Yep.
all have to be confirmed. So,
Will Gaetz fight them in the nomination process?
Josh makes another good point here. He says, my one concern is that Gaetz as AG paves the way for partisan retribution, which I really, really don't want to see. I want the Attorney General to go after every ounce of corruption that they can root out. Anybody who has used government to take advantage of the American people, I want consequences for that. But I need there to be obvious. There needs to be an obvious case for it. Like when you watched what Joe Biden's Justice Department did. Man, the Matt Gaetz thing, to me, feels like how I felt about Trump in 2015 or whatever when he came out. I'm like, are you serious? And Donald Trump's been great. So we'll just sleep on it. I can't believe this. Woo! What?
I know. It does open the door for people like, oh, this is so partisan. He's such a MAGA tyrant or whatever. But
the Kamala Harris people have been slowly every day, every minute is a minute away from when they lost. This is going to take them right back.
oh yeah. Yeah, this is right back to last Tuesday.
He won't be a Jeff Sessions if he gets confirmed. Like, if they launch an investigation or want a special counsel, his answer will be absolutely not. And that'll be that. And it won't go any further than that.
Regardless, whether it's him or anybody else, they've got to go after real crime. They have to have obvious evidence of those crimes. The exact opposite of the way the current Attorney General has gone about his job.
What I've been looking for 4 years now is a DOJ that protects the people from the government, not the government from the people. And whenever you look at what the DOJ has been doing, going after people praying outside of and protesting abortion clinics and all that other stuff, that is not what it's supposed to
Catholics
be.
being domestic terrorists.
Yes, all of that stuff. I wanted a DOJ that would step in on behalf of the citizens. Citizens in Illinois, where they are being oppressed with unconstitutional laws about assault weapons, stuff like that. Weigh in on that for us. Help us, because that's who you're supposed to help. Will he be that person? I don't know.
Did you know Matt Gaetz was a lawyer?
I kind of figured most politicians had been lawyers, but I never thought about it.
It's an unfortunate default that you just assume that they have been lawyers, which I think is not great, that everybody in Washington, D.C. is usually some sort of lawyer of some kind. That doesn't really reflect the American people in total. But I wonder He just great top teeth.
There was going to be
His top teeth are flawless. I don't know about his bottom teeth because I've never seen him.
there was going to be a headline tonight that everybody was going to read because a lot of people have been tuning in after work. They were going to see Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, or they were going to see Tulsi Gabbard,
Man, those
DNI,
are two dramatic polar opposites.
big picks. But instead of those headlines, they are going to see this headline because this is the one that people are going to be talking about tonight.
MSNBC is going to be a firestorm tonight.
I might just watch MSNBC tonight.
Actually, let's just do that now. We'll just put it on.
Let's just do that.
Just watch the puppy cam, guys. Matt Gaetz, Attorney General.
Wow.
Every time I say that, I'm going to have another what moment.
1992, no fear. Everybody, no, Donald Trump has no qualms, no fear. He picks whoever he wants.
Zero fudge brownies.
Zero fudge given.
Fudge brownies.
Right.
Fudge brownies.
Fudge brownies.
Zero fudge brownies given. They're all for Trump. Let's take a break. I need a minute.
Wow.
Holy smokes.